Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Several of you have requested that I look at the shooting from Miami Beach reported this past weekend. What we're going to do first is watch the mainstream coverage, and then I will break down the curiosities of the story. Notice that the video CNN gives us is a minute 47 in length. This is no coincidence. The focus of this story is police officers being too quick to shoot. That is the debate that this story has brought up. Was the force necessary? Did they need to shoot and kill this man? The focus is on the police. And the word police in Jewish gematria sums to 147. In recent weeks, we got the story of a police officer, Joe Gliniewicz, who was supposedly killed. A manhunt was put on by the police department for the suspects. Then the next day they said, oh, never mind, he committed suicide. Anyhow, notice his name gematria, very suspicious story, this number that connects to police, just like the length of the video CNN gives us for the story. So we're going to watch the coverage, and then we'll break it all down. Here we go, Truth Seeker.
We've got breaking news this hour. Police officers involved in a shooting of a man in broad daylight today in Miami Beach. It was all caught on cell phone camera. A warning, what we are about to show you is very graphic. It's very hard to watch. Arlena Machado is there on the ground in Miami Beach. You've been pouring through the video. You've been talking to police. So I think twofold question here. What do we know about the shooting?
Police say this all started with a hold-up alarm at a Bank of America that happened just down the street from where the shooting took place. The caller told the dispatcher that the suspect was armed with a bomb and that he had passed a note to the teller before he left the scene. When police arrived on the scene, they were told that the suspect was just down the street. Here's what the Miami Beach police chief says happened next.
He went inside the barbershop. He was urged to come out. After a period of time, he had armed himself in the barbershop with a straight-edge razor. And after a period of time, he came out. He took his shirt off and he came out. He was challenged by the officers in the street. And at some point during that confrontation, he did raise his hand with the straight-edge razor in it, and he was shot.
Now, the man who shot that disturbing cell phone video says that police appear to have been trying to calm down the suspect for about 5 minutes before they fatally shot him. The officer who discharged his weapon is a 6-year veteran of the force. We know that there is police body camera video available, but police at this point are not releasing it, Poppy.
All right, Truth Seeker. So there was the story. In the CNN reporting, they say Miami-Dade police. But from the police spokesperson, it was the Miami Beach police. I will show you what's significant about both of those police departments. Check this out, Truth Seeker. Miami Beach police has gematria of 79, just like the word murder. And this story, they're saying this could possibly be a homicide. Perhaps there was no reason to shoot and kill this man. CNN refers to them as Miami-Dade police, which has the gematria of 74, just like the word Masonic. Both of these numbers show up a lot around tragedy. Notice that the street sign for the cross street that they showed 2 times in the CNN footage was 16th Street. The only 2 numbers when written out that have gematria of 33 are 16 and 90. 16, 33, with the S exception 42, and the big way 96. These are interesting numbers. They are numbers that show up routinely in these police hoaxes. The Freemasons control the police departments in this nation. They control the news media. They control governments. They are actively creating stories for us for a cultural narrative by the numbers. The word police itself has gematria of 33. In almost all of these shootings, the number is heavily coded. The officer who went before us on TV was named Daniel Oates. Daniel Oates, the small way sums to 42, the number for Freemason, and with the S exception, 51. Also like Freemason, also like the word conspiracy. Daniel Oates in Simple English Gematria sums to 105, like Zionism and Masonry. Notice that Oates has a gematria of 60, just like the word police, a fitting name for a police spokesman. In the story, they said the victim was holding a straight-edge razor, and that's the reason the police officer shot. He was threatening them with the razor. Notice the gematria of this word. Straight-edge razor sums to 93, the number of propaganda, a number that gets cleverly coded into a number of stories. Earlier this year, there was one of a police officer being shot, and the belt buckle was made great focus. Belt buckle has this gematria of 93. Notice also that razor is another word with 33 gematria, a number they love to code into these stories. They also said the FBI was involved in this, and here's what's really interesting, Truth Seeker. The FBI in history, who are the federal police, show you something about the words federal and police. Federal has a 33 gematria, police has a 33 gematria. And in history, the FBI was first established July 26, 1908. This is a date with 33 numerology. No coincidence. We're talking about the federal police. They changed their name to Federal Bureau of Investigation from just Bureau of Investigation on the date of March 22nd, or 3/22, 1935. It went from the Bureau of Investigation to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This shooting, it was on the cross street of 16th, but it actually happened on the street Alton Street, which has gematria of 149, just like the gematria of Skull and Bones. And Skull and Bones is the Masonic order that goes by the number 322, a lot like the date March 22nd, which the FBI was established. I find it awfully suspicious that the FBI would be involved in this. They're saying it's because it was a bank robbery. But from very recent history, we have shown how often the FBI has been participating in these made-for-TV shooting hoaxes that are all part of a agenda of fear and legislative changes. Here's the symbol for Skull and Bones, 322, a lot like the date the FBI changed its name. The alumni of Skull and Bones are known as Bonesmen. Very recently, we had a Bonesman in the Oval Office, George W. Bush, the 43rd president. His birthday, Truth Seeker, July 6th, 1946, a date with 33 numerology. No surprise. A lot of people in high places with 33 life numbers, 33 name numerology. They said this man robbed a Bank of America. And maybe you've never noticed this before about the Bank of America symbol, but it is made up of 3 11s. 11, 11, 11. Add it together, 33. There is a lot of 33 coded into major banks through name gematria. 33, this number of obsession, number of the Freemasons, number of the police, number that shows up again and again in these hoaxes. I just want to point out that Masonic has the gematria of 223, like the reflection of 322. Also, the way that this date can be written, that the date that the FBI was established, 22/3. It is the Freemasons who are running the show. I can't say it enough. I continue to document in all of these stories just so people can see the undeniable pattern. The mayor in Miami is named Philip Laverne, having name gematria of 74, like Masonic, like Miami-Dade Police. He was shot outside the Razzle Dazzle Barbershop, Truth Seeker, having gematria of 113, another number that gets coded into these made-for-TV hoaxes so often, mainstream, dishonest, green screen, all have gematria of 113. Now, Truth Seeker, I don't want to say definitively that this one was a hoax. It very well might have been a setup and a planned execution. The shooting does look somewhat real in this case. What I noticed, though, is when he's shot, you don't see any blood, but a liquid emerges from his belly where it looks like he's first penetrated. Perhaps he was full of beer, and it came out of him like a keg. There are some clear videos online of the shooting. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. Here he is in front of the Razzle Dazzle barbershop just before being shot. I wish this was clearer. But Truth Seeker, the numbers on the back of this car, maybe I have a clearer shot of it. I think I have a clearer shot. I'll show you in a moment what's significant about what's on the back of that car. The officer Oates was quoted saying, "It's tragic for everybody involved." The media put emphasis on this headline. That phrase has gematria of 153, a number that often gets paired with 42. Remember, the officer's name, Daniel Oates, has gematria of 42. All cleverly contrived. 153 is also the number of fish in the miraculous catch story from the Bible. The word fish has Jewish gematria of 113. If you write out 153, it sums to 113. All this coding tells me that the story was well planned and the headlines were getting well thought out, as they always are in these made-for-TV deceptions. This image is a little clearer here, Truth Seeker. The back of this car has the number 33 and the number 51. The man shot is 51 years old. Remember, the word police 33, the word conspiracy 51. This very well might have been a well-contrived police conspiracy shooting made for TV. Here he is giving the note at Bank of America, supposedly. The reason the FBI is involved. The Daily Mail lets us know, 51-year-old victim. Again, conspiracy, Freemason, Daniel Oates, the reporting officer. These numbers show up so often, Truth Seeker. Here's a shooting from April 11th, 2015 in Miami Gardens. The victim was a young black male, Laval Hall. Look at the numbers coded. Laval, 60, like police. Hall, 33, like police the small way. Put it together, Laval Hall, 93. Number we just talked about. Straight edge razor. Miami Gardens has the gematria of 113. The number of mainstream, the number of dishonest. Miami Gardens, the small way, also sums to 59, like the kill number in Jewish gematria. Also, the number negatively stamped on black Americans all throughout history. And this story was the shooting of a young black youth. Laval Hall. The police officer, name gematria 64. One that's so often coded in the police shootings, 64 and 46. Look at the gematria of Miami Beach, Truth Seeker. 46. If you watch my videos again and again, I say in all these police shootings, 46, 64 coded. So redundant. A very transparent pattern to see when it's all documented and laid out. That said, I wonder if in some of these stories, the people are sought out for their age, for their name gematria, and are purposefully murdered for these propaganda stories. That could have been the case here with the 51-year-old man, or it could have been a well-executed hoax looking a lot more realistic than a lot of their other productions. What is clear, though, is all the usual suspects in the numbers are coded into this story, and CNN is always sure to put them before our eyes, from the minute 47 video to the numbers placed on the screen, from the back of the car to the street signs. So that concludes this one. Until next time, Truth Seeker.